Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is V Krishna Mohan. So today I want to question on happiness. What is happiness? So we all are trying to seek happiness. No doubt we need to understand what happiness is, but we are trying to find happiness or chase happiness, or we are trying to identify how can I get happiness. But I think the important question is happiness versus gratifications. So, are we getting confused between these two? Right. So, we get gratification from certain things. So, let's say we watch a movie or we taste some food. So, with these things, we think so. These are something instant gratification which we get, and we are thinking these sensations. So, basically, these are sensations, anything related to anything which you get out of lust or position or power. So these kind of things is just a reaction, or we can say these are kind of sensations, and we are mistaken all these things with happiness. So I think the real question is what is happiness. Rather than seeking for happiness, I think we need to understand what is happiness at first place. And before to understand that, we need to go deeper into what is joy. So we I think we should question ourselves what is joy, because we have forgotten what joy is actually. See, how long or how many years back it's been that you really look at the sunset or sunrise, or you should see at a beautiful tree, or you look at a beautiful person as it is, without so you see someone, or you see the nature, you really enjoy the nature, or you just see the birds flying, you just see the animals and you really enjoy those things. So how long back it's been, right? So we all are just for the namesake, we look at something, we capture a photo and we post it in some social media, and we try to get happiness through that. But is it really happiness what we are seeing? I think that's the major question. So we have missed out the joy as well. So I think the main understanding would be how do we really enjoy something without any all this influenced mindset or the corrupted mindset, I would say. Because we all are being conditioned everywhere, and our mind is being conditioned, and everything which we see through is through our brain, right? So can we refine at the brain level instead of refining ourselves or changing, transforming ourselves with the latest trend? Can we really look at some tree and really enjoy that without any preconceived mindset saying that in the future I want to regain this memory and enjoy that again? Actually, that's not enjoyment, it's just you're trying to recreate an illusion. So you need to understand what joy is, you need to understand what happiness is. So we need to question all these things. And next, we think happiness can be pursued, or happiness can be we can find happiness somewhere. So what we do is we try to link this happiness with family, or we try to link it with some kind of success, right? So what we think is every time we get something, or if we want something and if we get something, that is happiness, and anything which we don't get, that is unhappiness. No, that's not true, because it's just your mind game. You're just trying to get something, you have an instant gratification, so again it comes under the gratification rather than happiness. And what we do is to find, so in general what happens is in order to find happiness, we associate happiness with certain things, so many things, right? So we either attach it with family, or materialistic things, like you attach your happiness with cars, or with your ideas, or with your certain religious movements, or all these things. So with this attachment, what happens is the idea or the thing becomes more important rather than your happiness, right? So you're attaching your happiness with some car. So as you proceed further, your car becomes more important than your happiness, so you attach all your importance to that car rather than your happiness, right? So happiness was something, the motive which you had, then the car or the thing or the relationship, anything you can keep, right? So through that we are trying to perceive happiness. But what happens is all these things are temporary. Your materialistic things, your ideas, your relationship, everything is temporary. um, See, any materialistic desires that would fade away sometime. Your relationship is hard, it's more like a friction, or it's a friction thing, right? So it's not that transparent also, so that can fade away. So through that we are trying to find happiness, and we want that happiness to be permanent, which is not possible, right? So we can't pursue happiness through something. It's again a gratification, I would say. um, and and also, as we attach our happiness with all these things, right, we end up with sorrow, and we try to overcome that sorrow by saying, why am I feeling sad for certain things? To overcome that, again you are going in search of happiness, which is conflicting itself. So in order to see happiness, right, you can't say happiness, I can find happiness in certain part of my life, right? It's so when you say a river, there is no source to a river, right? So the water, every drop is like the stream of water, and there is no source to it. You can't So similarly you can say your life is like a stream of river or water, and you're saying at a specific source or a specific drop I'll find happiness. So you can just feel that happiness at every drop. And one more thing, any kind of emotion, let's say if you're happy, and the moment you're conscious that you're happy, or the moment you realize that you're happy, that happiness has become past. Indeed, you enjoyed that experience though of happiness, but the moment you realize it's an happiness, it's your past, it's your experience, it's something which got over. So let's say you just have a meal. When you're having the meal, you really enjoy it, you completely forget everything around you, and you have that meal. And the moment you realize it's happiness, it vanishes away, the happiness is vanishes away. So you have a great meal, let's say afternoon you had a great meal, you go back home, and you just reiterate all your memories, and you say, oh, okay, I really enjoy that meal, I was really happy at that moment. So it's same thing, similar to your stream of river, right? The happiness can be experienced at specific drops, and that drop is, once it's gone, it's gone. So every moment you can experience happiness, but it cannot be found, or it cannot be you can't achieve happiness. But it's a moment to moment thing which you need to experience, and just be you just need to experience that happiness rather than trying to gain control of it, right? So I think the question, I think we need to point our question more towards, rather than seeking for happiness. In order to understand happiness, right, you need to understand the sorrow. Because why when do we think about happiness? To be honest, whenever we are low or we are in bad situations, that is when we will think, okay, I was happy at that moment, I was happy so many years before, I was happy when I was a child, but now I'm facing so many issues and so on, other things. Then you jump towards happiness, you just think about happiness. Otherwise you don't think about happiness. So if if you don't have any issues, you never really think about happiness. The moment you are sad or sorrow, or you're hurt, or any kind of negative emotions you're going through, then you think of happiness. So I think the question dives more into what is sorrow or what is hurt. Why is someone is sorrow, or why am I feeling sad, or why am I into more into hurt, or that kind of negative emotion? That is something which we need to look into, right? So yeah, just think through this, just see why we are always chasing for happiness rather than looking out for the actual questions. And the more self knowledge you get, more you analyze yourself, I think you will see the moment of happiness. I wouldn't say that you will gain happiness, but rather you can see the moment of happiness, and you just, when you see through the happiness, you no more try to have you no more try to acquire happiness, rather than you understand the moment of happiness and you live with it. and living with the moment is everything. And it doesn't mean that any kind of other emotions which you're getting, you shouldn't discard it, because the moment I'm saying something and you're just listening and you're saying, okay, I'm going to discard so and so things because that's not good, and that's what certain a person in the YouTube or the influencer trying to say, and you try to discard all the things which are naturally into you without even looking through or going through at first place where the source or the root of the thought has come, then you're again in the conflict or the illusion. You're just doing what others are saying, and rather than thinking or knowing yourself, you're trying to jump from one place to another place, from one teacher to another teacher, from one religious beliefs to the another religious beliefs. So you're never understanding your true self. You're always getting influenced, and you're just chasing something which is not really needs to be chased, or rather you need to see through something else, right? So I think the main important part is to be in the moment. So it never needs to be forced or pushed, right? Just because I'm saying it needs to be you need to be in the moment or be in the present, it doesn't mean that you have to force yourself into the present. But accept the state whatever you are in, right? The moment you accept, I think the transformation begins. Thank you, and have a nice day. Bye.